The Toys R Us bankruptcy is a landmark example of how complex capital structures, featuring multiple layers of debt, preferred and convertible securities, and intricate legal agreements, can drive high-stakes legal disputes and shape outcomes in distress. This case integrates all major capital structure concepts from debt versus equity fundamentals to the enforcement of subordination, financial covenants, and the treatment of hybrid securities in bankruptcy. 1. Capital structure basics. Debt versus equity fundamentals LBO structure. In 2005, Toys R Us was acquired in a leveraged buyout, LBO, by KKR, Bain Capital, and Vornado Realty Trust, resulting in $6.07 billion in debt and $1.03 billion in sponsor equity. Legal distinction: debt holders had enforceable contractual rights and priority in bankruptcy, while equity holders, including preferred and common, were residual claimants and ultimately lost their investment when the company liquidated. Section 2. Why leverage matters in loan covenants. High leverage: the LBO left Toys R Us with a net leverage ratio of 78.6x EBITDA, severely constraining operational flexibility. Covenant breaches: the company's inability to meet strict financial covenants, e.g. leverage and interest coverage ratios, triggered defaults, accelerated repayment demands, and limited access to new financing. Section 3. Equity versus debt. Control, risk, and legal implications. Control: debt holders gained significant control through covenants and default remedies, while equity holders' influence was limited, especially in distress. Risk: high leverage increased the risk of default and bankruptcy, shifting control to creditors and exposing equity holders to total loss. 4. Debt-to-equity ratios in legal agreements. Legal arguments: the company's high debt-to-equity ratio was central to court assessments of solvency and the feasibility of reorganization. Outcome: the lack of an equity cushion justified the subordination of equity claims and creditor-driven liquidation. Section 5. Financial covenants, drafting and enforcement. Restrictive terms: loan agreements impose tight restrictions on additional borrowing, asset sales, and capital expenditures. Enforcement breaches allowed creditors to accelerate debt, restrict operations, and ultimately force bankruptcy. Disputes arose over whether management's acceptance of DIP financing covenants made default inevitable. Section 6. Subordination and security interests. Creditor hierarchy: senior secured lenders held first priority claims on collateral, followed by second lien lenders, unsecured creditors, and finally equity holders. Subordination agreements, payment waterfalls, and standstill provisions were strictly enforced, limiting junior creditors' ability to challenge senior actions or recoveries. Section 7. Preferred stock and legal rights. Liquidation preferences: preferred stockholders had contractual rights to dividends and liquidation preferences, but these were subordinated to all debt in bankruptcy and rarely paid. Voting rights: limited in practice. Plans could be confirmed over preferred objections if creditor classes approved. Section 8. Convertible securities and legal complexities. Conversion rights. Convertible securities allowed holders to convert into equity, but these rights were often suspended, modified, or extinguished in bankruptcy. Anti-dilution protections enforced per contract, but ineffective if the underlying equity was impaired or canceled. Recharacterization risk: convertible debt could be reclassified as equity, subordinating claims and reducing recovery. Section 9. Capital structure in distress and bankruptcy. Bankruptcy filing: Toys R Us filed for Chapter 11 in 2017, seeking to restructure its debt but ultimately liquidating due to creditor disputes and over-leverage. Distribution waterfall: secured creditors received partial recovery. Unsecured creditors and equity holders, including preferred and convertible, received little or nothing. Legal precedent: the case reinforced the strict enforcement of subordination, the vulnerability of hybrid securities, and the decisive role of capital structure design in distress. The fate of Toys R Us highlights that in distressed scenarios, legal and contractual priorities, not just business fundamentals, determine who recovers and who is left behind. Mastery of capital structure concepts is essential for navigating and resolving such disputes.